Alrighty, I've got a lot to catch up on. There has been a surge of over 120, I believe, maybe even 140 new subscribers. Thank you guys so much. I haven't been as present on YouTube lately just because of life, everything. So without further ado, let's get into the next video, which is right now. I want to talk about the fact that I bought a 2023 Ford Lightning XLT, if that matters. Actually, it does matter. An XLT trim package, which is heated cloth seats, Pro Power on board, the 9.6 kilowatt or 9.6 kilowatt, fully electric. I got to say, I am super impressed with this truck. I have done so much with this truck already, and I've only had it since September 11th of all days. September 11th, 2025 is when I got delivery of this truck from Carvana, which segue into that. This is not sponsored by Carvana, but that experience was so easy. It was seamless. It was so easy. I did all the paperwork online, and then the truck was literally dropped off at my doorstep, and Bob's your uncle. So, yeah, I got this truck for $32,000, all said and done. And I got it right when all the incentives for EVs were going away. So that meant that EV prices just tanked. I mean, they absolutely tanked, and I loved it. I loved every second of it. I don't care about the $7,500, any of that. That wasn't the difference between me buying an EV and not, if that makes, you know what I'm saying? These trucks are amazing. Like I said, 30 grand for a truck that has, 600 horsepower and almost 800 pound-feet of torque is just insane. This thing 0 to 60 in like 3.2 seconds. It's absolutely insane. The Pro Power on board has enough juice to power a house for a good solid week, honestly. Perhaps even more than that if you start to cut out a few things. You know what I mean? So yeah, I have nothing but good things to say about this truck. The integrated Apple CarPlay and Android Auto has been great. Hasn't been perfect. It's been great. I don't have Apple CarPlay, but I do have Android Auto, and it does seem that if my trip is longer than 30 minutes, there will be a cutout at some point. The music will just simply cut out. Nothing visually will change. It just simply, the audio will cut out for like 1/1,000,000th of a second. But when you're listening to music that you're familiar with or even unfamiliar with, skipping a beat literally can be the difference between that moment being ruined. But anyway, yeah. I mean, where do I begin? I've already hauled stuff I've had an engine and transmission in the back of this thing connected together. I have hauled 2 SUVs on a flatbed trailer. I have, yeah, I've taken this thing off road. I've been camping in it. There are so many little things that I just super high praise for this thing. You can set charging times based off of where the vehicle is parked. So let's say at home, I don't want you to charge anywhere near full, obviously. Let's do 80%. And Ford recommends 90%, no more than 90% for day-to-day use. But if you're taking a road trip or things like that, you can absolutely charge to 100%. They just don't want you to charge to 100% and then it just sits there at 100% for days, hours, or whatever. So on road trips, should you choose to 100%, hopefully within that hour of reaching 100%, you use it. You at least use 10 to 20% of your battery right away. That is for longevity. Hopefully that's for longevity. We'll find out as time goes on. And I have to say this, I'm not a Ford guy at all. I'm a Mopar guy. I've had Jeeps and Rams and Chrysler Town and Countries and Jeeps and Rams. I mean, yeah, I don't really dabble outside of the brand. You know, I really didn't have to. But unfortunately, when Jeep announced that they were not making the Gladiator 4xe version, instead they were just simply going to drop a V8 in that, and that's fine. That's not, I don't think they should have deleted the option for the 4xe. I think they should have just had it simply go along with it. And because I don't know if you know this or not, but the current Wrangler 4xe, which is being discontinued apparently, that Jeep can driving it all electric can net you not being able to have to get gas for months. And I do mean months. Or you can just fill up on gas once a year, and you'll slowly, it will force you to use a little bit of that gas because of what's called FORM, fuel oil refresh mode. That's to keep things not stale. So at a certain point, I think it's every 90 days, the engine will have to run. Obviously, it won't run if the vehicle's not already in the on and run position. It's not going to start up in your driveway by itself. Nothing like that. That's absurd. No, just simply the next time you go to drive it, the engine will immediately start instead of, no matter how much electricity you have. So that's just one of those things that you have to stay cognizant about with that. Obviously, with a full EV, that's not the case. There are no oil changes. There are no spark plugs. There are no catalytic converters to be stolen.
6 hours later.
No more transmission problems from anybody. No more transmission services. Although this does have a transmission, and I say that in quotation marks because it doesn't have a transmission. I have two EDMs, one in the front, one in the rear, which is the engine. It's the electronic motor. It's the electronic motor, front and rear. I have dual motors, so this is all-wheel drive all the time with a locking differential, which is amazing. And I've had no problems driving this truck off-road. I've had no problems towing with this truck off-road. So yeah, there's just a plethora of things. Now, you guys have sent a lot of questions in about EVs because there are a ton of misconceptions. And I'm going to be making a video, perhaps with my wife, to show you guys that things are not the way that you were told they were. I don't know. I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist. I don't want to get all deep and say that it's the big oil. It's big oil giving you, misinformation, but maybe it is. Maybe it honestly is. Take, for example, my unique situation with my truck. My bed camera under warranty failed. So I was able to take it into Ford and I was able to get it, taken care of. While I was there, the service writer, bless her heart, she didn't know, I guess. But she was trying to run up that bill. She was asking if I needed a new engine air filter, if I needed an oil change, would I like a fuel injection service? Would I like all this stuff before we even got to the physical vehicle? You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things that I feel like maybe it is big oil pushing all this misinformation about even hybrids. The big battery in the hybrids. I have a 2008 Toyota Highlander hybrid, also all-wheel drive because it has dual motors. It's got a motor in the front, if you will, and a motor in the back. There is no physical connection between the two motors. So there's no drive shaft. There are just fluid power split devices that need to have their fluid changed every 60 to 100,000 miles, and it's no filter because there is no metal transfer. There's no metal-to-metal contact. There are no sacrificial metals inside of these power split devices. And so it's just a fluid change. The Ford, however, does have a filter inside these transmissions, one in the front, one in the rear. They take like a quart and a half. It's basically like changing a differential fluid. Honestly, it's just like that. But yeah, so like I said, I don't know if it's big oil or not. I really don't know. It's becoming harder and harder to say that it's not because the facts are there. The questions we keep asking are the right questions. Why is one thing one way and why isn't it the other way? So yeah, anyway, yeah, I'm going to be coming out with another video soon, and we're going to be talking about, I'm going to be answering a lot of questions about EVs on video. I want you guys to have the true information out there. Yeah, charge times, cold weather EV driving, all that fun stuff. We're going to be answering a lot of those questions, and we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to have a good time. Yeah, we're going to have a good time. So that's all for now. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you guys actually very soon because I'm going to start working on that video today. You might even see me change clothes because it might be me talking to the camera multiple days. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.